Hello, what is up? What's good? Welcome into the OnlyBets Sports Podcast Monday edition. Alongside SternBets and DrewDelucchi, I am the Prince of Picks. Hope you had a great weekend. We're ready to kick off this week with some great bets and some great plays, of course, for the sports landscape today. Myself, I had a great weekend. We'll cover that here in a minute as we recap our plays over the weekend. But great weekend for me. Looking forward to continuing the momentum here this week. Today we've got the NBA playoffs in action. Tonight we've got I think one game in the NHL playoffs. We've got some baseball games, of course, in the majors, and we'll be sure to give you our best bets for those. And a light day on the pitch, but I've got a couple plays in soccer as well. One of those here kicking off shortly, so we'll get into it in a bit. Before we get started here, if you guys can do us a favor, head on over to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever it is that you listen to us. Give us a real quick rate, review, subscribe. Really does wonders in helping us grow this channel, grow this community, and get this out to more potential listeners. With that being said, let me go ahead and introduce my co-host, my main man, Mr. SternBets. Good morning, sir. How was your weekend? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday indeed. Weather is warming up. I am excited. Baseball is coming in full swing. NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs. It really is a wonderful time of year. I've had Christmas tunes stuck in my head all weekend. And that's really just because my dad used to translate the Santa, because I'm Jewish. I don't know if you guys knew that. Doesn't really matter. But my dad used to translate all of the Santa songs into grandma songs. So I have all the tunes and I grew up with everything. And now they're stuck in my head and I can't get them out.
That's awesome.
It's like grandma is coming to town.
That's so cool.
Yeah, well, it was a way to get us to brush our teeth and
Hey,
she's gonna find
whatever
out.
works. Yeah, whatever works. Hey, shout out to grandma.
Oh man. All right, yeah, let's get into it. How was your weekend? Tell me about what is happening. I am starting to expand my model a little bit, which is really exciting. A lot of work being done on the back end here. So hopefully soon I'll be able to come up with a few more plays in a few more sports. But for now, focusing really hard into the MLB, getting into the swing of the season, pun intended. All right. Let's bring
Nice.
in Drew if he can hear us. But first, Prince, tell me why your weekend was so great.
Yeah, so a lot of the plays that we gave out, we cashed a lot of those tickets. So let's just go back to Friday because that was the last show we did. Friday night, of course, was the Knicks and Hawks, and I was on the Knicks -2.5, and that that covered about 5 minutes into the game. What an epic disaster of a collapse from Atlanta. I mean, that was a few days ago, so we don't need to go too much on it. But of course, the Knicks ended up winning that one by I think it was 40 plus. So obviously, -2.5 Knicks was a solid look, and we crushed that one. So count that on the books. And then, of course, we had Inter Miami and Orlando. Both teams are scoring over 2.5. Every Miami game is a shootout right now. That ended up with 7 goals. The final score is 4-3. Miami actually had a 3-0 lead, and they blew it in the second half to a bad Orlando side. So something's going on with Miami defensively. That's something I'd be interested to talk about, maybe with Brad sometime, or kind of get some thoughts on what's going on with Miami, because this team is too good to be giving up those kind of goals and getting those kind of collapses. But in any case, we hit our bet for that as well, and so pretty decent day. Hit a lot of live plays. We've been crushing our live plays recently, so the live plays have been going really well over on X at PrinceOfPicks 10. And so, yeah, a great weekend, and looking forward to carrying the momentum today.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've been really looking forward and watching your soccer plays. And if you haven't listened already, we have the World Cup qualifiers. Is that correct?
No, it's actually, you know what's funny? I keep saying that this morning. I was rehearsing, and I kept saying World Cup qualifying. I'm like, Prince, stop. It's not qualifying anymore. It's the group stage. So it's actually the World Cup group stage preview show where it's a quick show, guys, 25, 30 minutes. Get you in, get you out. I just ran through all the groups and gave you kind of my best plays for each group, kind of where I found value, right? So maybe some sleeper plays, some plays that are kind of flying under the radar, maybe some plus money plays, things like that, that I think have a good possibility to hit, or probability, I should say, to hit. So I think it's a really good listen. I think you guys will enjoy the content. And again, I'll get you in and get you out. We go through all the groups, and then at the end, I give you a few futures plays for the whole tournament itself. So like I said, short little podcast just to get you going here, as we are just a month away from the World Cup. Can't wait.
You know what? While we're talking about soccer, and we're going to bring Drew in just a minute, but why don't we get started with soccer right away, and then we'll transition to the MLB.
Yeah, for sure. Because we do have a game here kicking off at 12:30 p.m. Eastern. It's a massive game in the Scottish Premier League. So we're going over there. We're going to the SPL over in Scotland. This is a Braveheart special, I like to call it. If you know, you know. But we're looking at Hearts taking on Rangers. And this is a massive game for both sides here. Hearts currently sitting top of the table. Rangers in third place, but Rangers need to win this one if they want to have any realistic shot of competing for the SPL title. So huge game for both sides here. Usually when Rangers games are active, you usually see a lot of goals because defensively they're a little bit suspect. And so what I landed on here was both teams are scoring over 2.5 at plus 100. I think that's a really good price, getting plus money for a Rangers team that they're going to have to play expansive in this one. They're going to have to push. A draw is really not going to do them any good. And so I even think if you see a 1-1 score, I would expect Rangers to push for that second goal, and either they score or they might concede. But in any case, I don't think we end as a draw here. I think we see a minimum of 3 goals. And it's going to be a lot of fun to watch because Rangers, they're very good offensively, but when they push, they let up goals left and right defensively. So I think Hearts can definitely get on the board. I think Rangers can get on the board. And again, I think it's we're going to see a minimum of 3 goals in this one. So I really like both teams scoring over 2.5 at plus 100.
Awesome. I love it. Those are one of the teams that we have been following all year, all season, last season. So excited to keep following them this year. What else do you got for us? Anything else in the soccer landscape?
Yeah. Just one more game, guys. We're looking at here. It's a 3 p.m. Eastern kickoff over in La Liga. We've got Sevilla taking on Real Sociedad. And this one, I like both teams to score. It's at minus 140. A couple of reasons here. One, we have Real Sociedad. They're pretty much on the beach right now. Not really much to play for. They're not in danger of relegation, but they're not really in contention for any European competitions next season. So they're just kind of in the middle of the table, just waiting for the season to finish. Usually, when you have teams on the beach, you see the defensive side of things slip. Not to mention, Real Sociedad are just not a very good defense to begin with throughout the regular season. And same can be said for Sevilla. Sevilla have been leaking in a lot of goals defensively, but they are in a relegation battle. So this game is very important to them. So I do expect them to push for goals in this one, push for a win. I think that's going to lead to both sides here getting on the board. So I like both teams to score. Sevilla, Real Sociedad, minus 140.
I love it. Just FYI, I did find this at minus 130 over on ESPN/The Score, minus 135 on Caesar. So definitely shop your lines. Bet365 is minus 134. Just obviously shop your lines and make sure that you get the best price available. Anything else in this soccer landscape? Anything that you want to kind of hint towards later in the Champions League, maybe, or something?
Yeah, nothing official yet, but of course we do have Champions League Tuesday and Wednesday, and Tuesday is the one that we've all been waiting for, right? It's the rematch. Bayern Munich and PSG. Cannot wait for that one. Of course, we saw 9 goals, 5-4 finish in the first game. I think we're going to see a very similar output in scoring tomorrow as well. So stay tuned for that. I can tell you right now, I'll be playing overs. We'll have to see what the juice is on. That's probably going to be nuked. Might be something we'll have to play live, but I can't wait for that game, honestly. Yeah, a lot of fun soccer here coming up over the next couple days.
Yeah, I will say the second that the lines came out, and I mentioned this on the show last week, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday. I think it was Thursday. I immediately played the over 2.5. I think it might have been the over 3. I'll have to double check on that game because I knew that the public was just going to just blindly bet the over, which rightfully so. Well, we 9 goals is nothing, not nothing. All right, let's head into the MLB. Let's bring in our main man, Drew. Drew, how was your weekend, and what do you got for us today?
Yeah, I had a overall good birthday weekend. My birthday was yesterday, May 3rd. So
Happy
good stuff.
birthday. I'm so
Happy
sorry that we didn't know
birthday.
this.
Happy belated.
Oh, you're good. I'm not. I've never been somebody that was like message and be like, "Hey, it's my birthday, by the way." Kind of thing.
I'm the same. Yeah, I'm with you, bro.
I am an extrovert when I like talk to people, but I'm an introvert when it comes to stuff that's about me, if that makes sense. So just it's just a
Yep.
guy thing, I guess. But
Yeah, maybe so, because I'm right there with you. Yeah, I don't broadcast my birthday, and people get mad at me. Oh, why did you tell me it was your birthday? I'm like, well, maybe you should have just figured it out. I don't
exactly,
know.
you could have
That's
sensed
on
it.
you. You
Yeah.
could have sensed it.
Yeah. But something that I thought was cool yesterday, by the way, this is about, of course, this is a baseball thing, but this has to be the first time probably it ever happened. I don't think they have a stat for it. But Dustin May pitched yesterday on May 3rd. His number is 3, so he might be the first player ever to wear his exact day and date for his name and birth and number. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I did see that. I was watching the game and the announcer mentioned something about that. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's pretty neat.
It is, exactly. But for baseball, we have some pretty good games today overall. I would say the first game, actually, so first one I was going to mention that I wanted to go to was the Braves at the Mariners. Logan Gilbert, right? He's at under 8.5 at like minus 210. I don't even mind his under 17.5, but I was looking to pair his under 18.5 with something. But I'll just say why I like, Logan Gilbert's under. I talk about this every time, and we almost always usually hit his under. Logan Gilbert is just getting too much respect from Vegas. At the end of the day, he hasn't been really efficient with his pitches, even at home as well too. And the times he has, even covered like only going 6 innings. He's done it against, teams that can be stagnant on offense. He did against the Rangers at the Rangers, where the Rangers almost knocked him out. Houston was just doing the tactic of basically, let's just swing at every pitch, and he got ground balls. But then since that Houston game where he went 7 innings, he's only gone 5.1 versus Texas, 4 innings versus the A's at home. And then at Minnesota only lasted 5 innings. So I like under 8.5 with Gilbert. I was looking for something to pair with. If you can get it at under 17.5 for like plus money, I would like that too, but I would do it for probably a little less because it's probably gonna be like plus 135 or something.
Yeah, I first of all, I really like what you're saying. Braves are possibly the hottest team in the entire league, AL and NL. They get onto the pitchers fast. They're one of the best teams in the first 5 innings. And Logan Gilbert has not looked himself, and a lot of his underlying metrics are concerning. When you're adding an 8.2% barrel rate to a 44.5% hard hit rate, and then you have expected stats like a 261 expected batting average against, those are not numbers that are going to really get you through batters, even if you have a really good strikeout to walk rate. It just means that when you make mistakes, you're making mistakes, and the Braves are going to capitalize on that. You can get the over under. Well, I guess you can get the under 17.5 outs on DK for plus 128. Is that worth
Yeah.
a half the unit for you?
Yeah, I would say that's half a unit. I would definitely agree. I would say if you do under 17.5 at plus 128, half a unit, because that will equal closer, of course, to a full unit. The 18.5 is better if you wanted to, like pair with something. So I don't like doing full units on like, plus 130 or something that kind of plays, because you're getting high return if you do half. And another thing about Gilbert too, Stern, I've noticed his strikeout rate is way lower than it was last year. He's not, striking out consistently like 7 or 8 batters like we're used to. He's had games like recently of only 3 and 4 strikeouts. He's had a few games of 7, but he hasn't really had an 8 or 9 strikeout game.
Yeah, if you're looking back from last year to this year his strikeout rate's resting around 24%, which is by no means bad.
Yeah.
But it's not where it was yesterday when he had a 32.3% strikeout rate. So something is clearly off. And when you're looking at his whiff rate as well, last year, where was it? 32.9% with a chase rate of 30.4%. And those are numbers that are elite. And when you're looking at this year, his chase rate's only at 32%, still pretty good. But the whiff rate's at 29.2%. And like we said, the strikeout rate's down at 24, just under 24.5%. So not great. Obviously, something is wrong. And then the rest of his pitches individually are much less quality, much lower quality than they were last year. So something to look out for, but he's clearly not the ace demanding that the respect that the books are currently putting on him. And I 100% agree that fading him for outs is a great look. I think that getting the Braves on the money line at plus money is a great look if you want to go that route, but definitely love this play overall.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I would say the other play that I like, because I like generally fading this pitcher specifically, and the Marlins have been a hot team. I'm not necessarily saying the Marlins will win. They do have Jansen Junk on the mound, who has looked pretty good. We saw him do well against the Dodgers, I believe, his last start as well. But the Marlins, they have been, of course, a really good hitting team. They don't really strike out that much. They're guys with high averages, and Aaron Nola, as much as I hate to say it, it's just kind of like one of those things where I say he's getting older. He's had surgeries that caught up to him. But if you look at Aaron Nola's like underlying metrics, like we all like to see, of course, they haven't been great this year. And then if you just look at his straight metrics, like his straight regular numbers in general, his under 17.5 has hit the last three. The only time he's covered 17.5 was his second and third start out of his 6 starts he's done. But if you look at his last 3 games alone, at home versus Chicago, he had only 5 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. Then his next start at Chicago, 4.1 innings and 5 earned runs. And then you would probably think, like, oh, is it just, Chicago? No. But then his next start at the Braves, 4.2 innings, 7 hits, 6 earned runs, 2 home runs. So I really like his under 17.5 outs here. And I believe his under 17.5 outs, looking at it, it's at -130, and I think that's really good value for a Marlins team. That's actually, we saw like Shohei barely made it 6 innings when he usually does. Yamamoto only made it 5 innings against him. I know yesterday we saw Luzardo seems back to himself. His last 2 starts, he's good. Luzardo went 6.1 innings, but I expect Luzardo to positively regress. I don't really expect Nola to positively regress because people are just hitting his pitches, it seems like, very well. His strikeout rate in the beginning of the year was pretty dang good. But his first 2 games, he's combined for 16 strikeouts, right? But his last 4, he's only combined for 19 strikeouts. So yeah.
Well, yeah, and a lot of that has to do with his incredible breaking stuff, right? His curve slider, that no problem at all. His curveball is really a very impressive pitch, but his four seam is not, averages just under 92 miles per hour. It doesn't really have any movement, and it ranks within the bottom 1% of the league, which could account for a lot of the troubles that he has. I do lean Phillies overall here. But a lot of sharp money is coming in against Philadelphia, and I can't say I disagree with it. If you're going to take the Marlins, definitely a good way to fade it is Aaron Nola's under 17.5 outs. I would maybe be interested in a Marlins first 5 parlayed with a Phillies money line. I wonder what the price is on that.
Yeah, I know that actually wouldn't be bad.
Well, the Marlins bullpen is just horrendous, which is really the reason why they have been losing games. Their first 5 innings has been fantastic. They've really been decent. The other thing that I will say, the reason why I would not really necessarily go running to fade the Phillies is the Phillies are hot right now.
Yep.
The Phillies are a very hot and cold team, not a team that I would like to fade on the offensive front. Jameson Junk is not the person that I'm going to be looking to run to bet. He does have some impressive metrics, but overall, people are getting barrels. They're batting against him pretty well. Not interested in getting into that whole mess. So I like the way that you're approaching it, and I'm going to play it as well. That's for a full unit.
Yeah.
-130.
Yeah, I would say definitely a full unit. And of course, the Phillies have they not technically a new manager, but an interim manager that used to be an all-time manager, Don Mattingly, and something
All-time
about
player too.
Yeah, all-time player too. He should be in the Hall of Fame. I don't understand why. But something about him is like we know Rob Thompson. He was one of those people that let his pitchers work, right? And our key is we need for him to hit his under too. Like sometimes the Phillies will let their pitchers, just like work even if they're getting rocked, but they'll take him out if it feels like they get to a certain amount of pitches. But Aaron Nola has been averaging a lot of pitches per at bat, and he usually struggles later on in innings. And the fact that Luzardo went 6.1 innings last night, I'm sure not Rob Thompson, sorry, he's gone. But Don Mattingly wouldn't mind pulling Aaron Nola out because their bullpen is decently fresh. So if he does, and he probably will think, I've seen it with the manager, with him and, Don Mattingly, like they see Nola in the 4th or 5th inning sometimes collapse, and they're like, okay, we've seen enough. They want their guys to go 6, their starters to go 6, but sometimes you can't when they're just getting rocked and they're seeing the pitch as well.
Yeah. Yep. Tough situation. It's going to be a lot of fun. Definitely lean on the over in that game as well.
Yeah,
all right.
definitely.
Yep. Any other plays before I run into? I have a few plays today, which I'm excited to get to. But anything else before I head into my stuff?
Yeah, so there was a one I was like looking at just in general. But I'm sure of course you'll bring up this game, but we have of course, Cam Schlittler on the mound. I was actually looking at some baseball savant stuff with Cam Schlittler. I've absolutely love it. His whiff rate on his four seam fastball, because of course he throws three set of fastballs. I think he throws his four seam, his cutter, and sinker. His four seam fastball has a 37% whiff rate, which is absolutely unheard of. And he's been absolutely amazing. He's like a 1.5 E1 ERA. He's striking out people left and right, and he's been going the distance. I was thinking about doing his over and outs, but I also saw the Orioles, do the unexpected. They got Max Fried out before full six innings. So I kind of want to. I'm interested in your take in that game, but I would say those are only two official plays I have right now. The later games, I'll probably wait to see because there's some lines that aren't up for me. So yeah.
Yeah, let's just jump into the Yankee game because, of course, yes, I do have a pick in it. It's going to be the Yankees' first inning money line minus 170. I know that it's pricey, but again, I think the juice is worth the squeeze. Baltimore, you know what? Yeah. Yeah. All right, fine. Yankees are really just leading in the first inning. We'll get to the full game, and I'll get to Camp Schlittler because I do have a first five parlay that I'm parlaying with the Yankees as well. But again, this has to do with just a mathematic probabilities. The Yankees score 56.25% of the time at home. They lead the league in scoring in the first inning overall. Baltimore, on the other hand, ranks 26th in scoring in the first, and that number drops to last in the league on the road, where the no-run first inning cashes 93.75% of the time on them. So they're only hitting 6.25% of the time hitting a run in the first inning on the road. And then you're going up against Cam Schlittler. We talked about it. He has elite metrics across the board pretty much. Batters are hitting just 180 first time around the order. This is someone that I'm looking to back almost every facet of the game, despite the fact that the Baltimore Orioles do look really hot right now, as Drew mentioned. The only thing that I can knock Schlittler for is his breaking run value on his curve and his slider. And it still ranks within the top 70% of the league. Like, it's not terrible, but you're going to compare that against the fastball, which is in the top 1% of the league. And that's, it's a difference and a little bit of a knock against him. But at the end of the day, nothing is slowing this kid down. I'm very excited to see what he's able to do this season, near future, and in the longer scheme of things. Pitching for Baltimore is Shane Baz, who has mixed starts, showcased by his 4.50 ERA. Now, he has a lot of promise, and he looks like he is moving in the right direction overall, but he hasn't taken that next step up yet. His underlying metrics are, again, like mixed. 6.5% barrel rate to 37% hard hit rate is fantastic. But when you pair that to a 19% strikeout rate and opponent's expected batting average at 268, it means that opponents are getting a lot of contact against him. Now, first time through the order, he actually does pretty well, not compared against Schlittler, but Baz's opponents are sporting a 234 batting average with an OPS of 698. That number jumps to 333 and 343 the second and third time around the order, and OPSs go to 940 and 886. All this is to say that the Yankees should have another great day offensively. They're in a good groove, and I don't think that Baz really has the stuff to stop them. And like I mentioned a little bit, I linked the Yankees first five number as a parlay piece. And if you wanted to take the full game money line, I don't mind adding that as well. But the first inning is a must play despite the price. Sorry, I got this at minus 200. But you can currently get that at minus 167 in Bet Rivers and minus 170 over on fan, whatever it's called. Drew, how do you feel about this? How I attack the Yankees game here?
No, I love it. I like it a lot, especially for the first inning play. Uh, I just didn't want to do, of course, like so they're over 79,000 minus 140 seemed like a little like too much juice for me for a young gun like that at the end of the day. I think he's one of the best pitchers in the league, but yeah, I think it's hard when I've like watched Cam Slither, it's hard not to tail anything with him because he's been lights out earlier in the lineup. Where he struggles is later. If he doesn't struggle, then he'll go pretty far in the game. So The dude dominates with primary fastball pitches. I know like the people on the other teams commentators will say, oh, he throws just fastballs and you can't hit it. But I think the common misconception with pitchers like him is, well, yeah, he throws fastballs, but the problem is a sinker and a cutter is considered a fastball, and they're completely different pitches.
Yeah, he has a fastball that basically goes straight at you with a lot of movement at the end. He has a fastball that moves left, and he has a fastball that moves right. It's unbelievable watching. It's a lot of fun. It definitely is a lot of fun.
It's disgusting. Like you shouldn't have a whip rate of like almost 40% on a four seam.
It's pretty crazy. All right, so I'm gonna pair the first 5 money line of the Yankees, and I'm gonna pair that with the Angels' first 5 money line. Half a unit, but you're gonna need a price at plus 131. We're gonna back Jose Soriano. He showed me that he has a lot of he had a stiff neck. He wasn't pitching himself, but he was still able to move through the order. I really, really like where Jose Soriano is at. He has an .85 ERA over 42.2 innings pitched. That is an unbelievable stat. And when you're looking at the underlying metrics, they mostly support it. 34% whiff rate, over 30% strikeout rate. His hard hit rate's good. Expected stats are good. Everything pretty much across the board except for his barrel rate, which is a little high at 9.2. This guy is the person that I want to back, Jose Soriano. Until he proves me wrong, just going to go with it. There's no reason not to. And I'm going to fade Davis Martin, who has also had a fantastic season so far, but he has slightly less stats, 1.95 ERA over 33.7 innings. Nope, that can't be right. 33 innings. But the underlying metrics tell a very different story, and I very much expect negative regression. He has a 48.5% hard hit rate with expected opponents hitting an expected batting average of 284, and that is a recipe for disaster sooner or later. And again, like I said, Soriano has elite metrics across the board. So when you're comparing the two and who's going to be able to keep up the positive momentum, Soriano, hands down, believe yes. Martin, hands down, believe no. And when you're comparing the offenses, the White Sox rank 16th in runs scored in the first 5 innings, while the Angels are 8th. I don't think this is going to be close, but I'll take the first 5 money line at plus 131. Drew, how do you feel about this Angels game?
Yeah, I like it a lot. Soriano has been consistently good. I want to see more, and he continues to do well. So I like anything when it comes to backing Soriano. Of course, the White Sox can be very scary with their spontaneous home run hitting because I think over 50% of the runs come from home runs. So they're either going to score, it seems like 6 runs or score like 1. So yeah.
Yeah, and just notice that I didn't include the Dodgers in this parlay, even though Yamamoto is on the mound against basically an unknown Oker. All right, I'm going to go straight into my next play here. Brewers. I like the Brewers on the money line, minus 110. I think that they're the better team. I'm not really sure what the line is. Let me double check what the line is right now, just so that we are all on the same page. Yep, you can still get it at minus 110, although on a lot of books, they have flipped favorites. But this is really about two teams going in 2 different directions. The Cardinals do continue to surprise people and are coming off an impressive win streak, losing the last game of the series to the Dodgers, but they did take the series from the Dodgers. But I do see negative regression overall coming for the St. Louis team. Very high bullpen rate usage, and they're ranked last in the league in giving up runs from the 6th inning on. Really means that they need to rely on their starters, who have been overall performing way better than expected, but they're starting Kyle Leahy. And I really don't see the bullpen getting a break with him. Leahy's metrics are really rough. 11.2% barrel rate, 50% hard hit rate with a 16.5% strikeout rate. Severely below average expected stats. Nothing in his profile really tells me that he's going to do extremely well against a Brewers team that can manufacture runs consistently and make the pitcher work. I think that they're going to get him out of the game early if they don't hit him out quickly or whatever, and that they're just going to get into the juicy bullpen and they're going to run from there. Milwaukee's pitching situation, vastly superior. They, like I said, they can handle manufacturing runs among the best of them. And they're starting Chad Patrick, who doesn't have the greatest of metrics, 8.2% barrel rate, 42.4% hard hit rate, low strikeout rate. I think it's at 14%. Yeah, 14% strikeout rate. But the average expected stats are actually pretty good. And looking at his recent performances, he really only gets in trouble towards the 5th or 6th inning, and then the Brewers immediately take him out if he doesn't make a big mistake. You start to see him crumble, and the Brewers do a really good job at providing a really decent bullpen to back him up. I really don't understand why the Brewers open up as a slight underdog, getting a -110 on the better team here, even on the road against St. Louis, who's done better than expected. I think this is a slam dunk of a play. Give me the Brewers on the money line. Drew, what are your thoughts on this game overall?
Yeah, I love that play a lot. Especially when it comes to the Brewers in general. I know the Cardinals offense has been pretty hot, but anytime I watch Kyle Lee or Lehigh, whatever his name is, like pitch, it hasn't been very impressive. Overall, I think he's only made it past like the 5th inning like once, and that was his last start. But if you just look at his like overall numbers, he's had multiple games with 3 walks, but also multiple games with 0 walks. So he's spontaneous when it comes to whether he has control or not. But the thing is, he's facing a Brewers team that is very patient, and they're going to make you pitch in the zone. They have been striking a little more this year than last year. But what I've seen them in recent games, especially against the Diamondbacks and Nationals, he'll make you throw strikes. And when he does throw strikes, his pitches are very hittable. And the Brewers love to play, small ball and stuff and rely on the home run. And they're going to a game where they're facing a team that I facing Lehigh, which I think will be hard for them to prevent him from stealing. And I expect the Brewers to win this by a decent amount. Kind of suspicious, like you said, that they're like slight underdogs or even money in this fact. So yeah, I love this play.
Yeah, I will say that I personally, my official play is 1 unit on the money line.
Yeah.
Unofficially, I put 0.75 units on the money line and 0.25, a quarter unit on the run line at plus 150 or something like that. It was something crazy where I was just like, I have to sprinkle. It was plus 146. That's what I got it at. So obviously, I'm playing around with unit sizes and everything, trying to figure it out for myself personally, but that is what I am starting to do with these favorites, because the favorites usually don't just win by 1 run. When they win by multiple runs. So if I'm backing a team, I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on the run line for plus money, just putting it out there. All right. Last play here, Drew. I'm very excited to hear what you have to say. We are getting the new young ace versus the old veteran ace. Exciting pitchup matchup. Red Sox phenom Peyton Tolley facing the veteran ace Tariq Skubal. Like I kind of mentioned, Skubal is Skubal. Opponents are batting just 159 first time around the order. OPS 484. Skubal is Skubal. And what else are you going to say? Tolley, on the other hand, 2 starts so far, but opponents are just batting .063 in the first time around the order with an OPS of 229 and 8 strikeouts. Both pitchers' underlying metrics are good. Skubal, again, no surprise, slightly high, 262 expected opponent's batting average and a 43% hard hit rate. Everything else is elite. Tolley has an 11.9% walk rate and a 50% hard hit rate, which is something to keep in mind. But again, other than that, both pitchers hold elite metrics in expected WOBA, expected slugging percentage, strikeouts, barrel rates, and most other metrics. The one warning, again, is Tolley's 31.8% fly ball rate combined with a hard hit rate does create a lot of home run opportunities. But if he can keep the walks down, then damage should be limited. I think this is a great pitcher's duel. And I think that we're going to see scoring when it comes from the 4th inning on. So give me the Red Sox Tigers first 3 innings under 2.5, minus 170. I know this is juicy, but again, I'm going where the stats and data lie, and I'm just going to call it at that. Drew, how do you feel about this game?
So what was your official play for this?
Sorry, it's Detroit, Boston, first 3 innings under 2.5 at minus 170.
Yeah, personally, I know I especially love that. Because we know Scooble at the end of the day. He just dominates everyone. If he ever struggles, it's if he makes it like to the 7th inning sometimes. But it's just very hard. These are 2 pitchers, right, that are like very hard to see when you see them for like the first time, not necessarily first time ever, but first time in a game. Because there's certain pitchers where it's like, oh, I've seen them before, I know what they do. But there's certain pitchers where, oh, I've seen them before, but it's hard to prepare for it again. So I'll leave Scoop aside because we know this. But Peyton Tolley, what I love about him when I watch him pitch is it's very hard because most people haven't seen him in general. It's very hard to read his fastball and sinker because they have like different kind of run in general. And when I say like, of course, run to the listeners, it means looks like the ball is going straight to you, but then all of a sudden it moves horizontally or vertically, and it like runs up, so it tricks you, and then you swing under it. If you his vertical break alone on his sinker is 21.1, which is like fantastic. His changeup is 34.1. His four seam has 13.8 of vertical break, which is pretty dang good, and his cutter has 26.1 of vertical break. So this guy, like, he doesn't throw like 99, but he throws 95 to 96 on this fastball and sinker, and he makes his cutter only 89, which is hard. So this guy is very electric. You may think like, oh, he's only throwing 95. Well, you can throw 95, and he can make it feel like it's worse than that if you have enough break on the ball and your release is funky, because his release is kind of funky in that way. So that's why it's hard for batters. We saw him strike out 5 of the first 6 Yankees, and stuff, because they had to get used to him.
Yeah, I don't worry about vertical break or miles per hour on the fastball. Yes, they're great to look at, and it does give them an advantage. But one of, if not the greatest pitcher of all time, never threw more than 93 miles per hour. Greg Maddux. It's all about
Yep.
delivery, arm rotation, being able to trick the batter into expecting one thing and giving them another. As long as you have velocity difference between your pitches and the batter can't guess which one's coming out, it's incredibly difficult to figure out a pitcher. Sure, is it harder when someone is throwing 100 miles per hour? Yes, but it's really about the difference between your pitchers that really make a pitcher successful, not how fast the fastball is. That's why you have a lot of people who have incredible stuff, but they just don't make it into the big leagues. You need to have more than that. All right, I've gotten to my plays for the day. Prince, I'm going to pass it to you, ask you, is there any baseball plays today or any leans or any questions on the slate today? You know me, I'm betting almost every single game pretty much across the board with my model, trying to figure out, angles and stuff like that, which hopefully I will be sharing when I am confident that they're producing consistent profits. But what do you got for today?
Yes, I do have a play today, guys. It's a team total parlay. But correct me if I'm wrong, Mush. But as I'm looking at the slate, it looks like there's a lot of overs that are in play today. I think today could be kind of a day where you see a lot of runs on a lot of different games. We're expecting a lot of wind in a lot of these different ballparks from what I'm looking at in the weather forecast. So I think we could be in for an overs day just in general. But a play for me, guys, that I'm going to be playing today. I'm looking at two teams here that have been hitting the ball relatively good here. I'm looking at the Braves team total over 2.5 taking on the Mariners. The Braves, of course, top 5 in hitting right now, and I'm going to continue to ride their hot bets. As we're looking at the over 2.5, it has hit in 20 of their last 21 games, and 80% clip here for the season for the Braves over 2.5. So I think it's a very attainable number here against the Mariners. And then I'm also going to parlay that with the Yankees. Team total over 2.5, taking on the Orioles, of course. Yankees have been mashing the Orioles, averaging 9 runs a game over the last 3. There's nothing to suggest that they won't do it again tonight. And this has hit a 91% clip, Yankees over 2.5 for this season. So Yankees, of course, just an excellent hitting team here. I think getting them with the Braves over 2.5, 3+ runs for both of them comes in at -113.
Yep. I just got this at -109 over on DK. I absolutely love both of these plays. I will admit that I am overexposed currently on the Yankees and the Braves sides, as I played both games in multiple ways. So, but I definitely love the play. There's a reason why I'm overexposed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then I do have a home run play. Did you guys want to go ahead and get it today, or do you have anything else for the official plays?
Drew, any other games that we want to get to that we didn't get to already?
No, I would say the only other game I was just interested in general just to watch, but I don't have any plays in it, is probably the Rays Blue Jays, but there's 2 pitchers that I can't really trust. So I think that'll be a high scoring game, if anything.
Yeah. Let me give out my leans real quick and then we'll jump into home run props just because my leans went 5 out of 6 yesterday. I will say that I did not hit as many the day before that, so there is that. But Rays definitely lean Rays, Reds, Guardians, Braves, like we talked about, and Phillies overall on the day. Not in the first 5, but the full game. I played a little bit on each of those, either on the run line or the money line, as long as the price was 115 or better. All right, let's get into home run props. Prince, where are you going first?
Yeah, so I'm going chalk, guys. But I think the number is very good considering the circumstances here. Give me Aaron Judge, plus 215 to go yard here. Judge Dredd. If you know, you know. If you don't know, do yourself a favor and go Google that movie. It's a great 90s movie with Sylvester Stallone, Judge Dredd. But in any case here, I love Aaron Judge tonight to go yard. Again, the Yankees have been mashing the Orioles this series, and tonight the wind is expected to be blowing out 13 miles to left field, which is a perfect ingredient for Aaron Judge to hit a home run, maybe even 2+. I'll probably be sprinkling 2+. You probably get there around, I would guess, maybe plus 400, plus 450, something around there. But I think Aaron Judge is in for a massive night tonight. I get it, it's chalk, but I'll play it. I think the circumstances are overwhelmingly supporting Aaron Judge to at least go for one tonight. So give me the Judge Dredd, plus 215.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. He was actually the top play of my model when I looked at it to see who was most probable to actually hit a home run. I definitely think that's a good look. Just so I guess everyone's on the same page, the Orioles bullpen has let up the sixth most home runs this year. And I don't think Shane Baz is going to get very far in this game. I think this is a fantastic look. I really do. You know what? Because I'm in the same game, I'm just going to go jump right into it. Give me Chaz Chisholm Jr. Also, another Yankee fading the Baltimore pitching staff, plus 467 was the next highest probable in that game for me. Like I said, Baltimore's bullpen letting up the sixth most home runs this year. If you're looking at Shane Baz, he's giving up 3 home runs in the last 4 games. He has really struggled after the 5th inning. I just see this as a really tough environment from him, and I'm going to back the Yankees all day here. Drew, who do you got for today?
Yeah, I have to take a call real quick, but I'll say this home run play, so I'll be back, of course. But I'm going to go to the Braves game. The Mariners Stadium has not been as great this year when it comes to not giving up home runs. It's always been a ballpark, as we known, to not really giving up much home runs, but it's been giving up a lot of home runs home and away. So I'm going to, I've been sticking with riding the Braves, and they're facing Logan Gilbert, who has a pretty high hard hit ball rate. He is susceptible to giving up home runs, and and he has a high fly ball rate too. He has been doing more ground balls than he did last year, but we've seen that regress to the means in that instance. So give me, in this case, not Drake Baldwin, but give me Austin Riley plus 440. We saw him hit a couple home runs in Colorado, so I expect him to do better, and I like his value at plus 440.
I like that a lot. I do. Just so we're all on the same page, Seattle Stadium, the Mariners Stadium, T-Mobile Park, it is a very good pitching stadium, but it does rank average in home runs given up. Yeah. I'll try to get the exact stats for you guys in tomorrow's show, but it isn't terrible in home runs.
What I was saying is what we're used to. We're used to it being like bottom, like 5 or something like that. Yeah.
I think rolling over the last 3 years, I can look this up really quickly.
Yeah.
But over the last 3 years, I'm pretty sure that it's actually ranked 16th, I want to say, in home runs. Good. It's really not terrible. It's 18th. It's 18th. Rolling 3 years, it's 18th, which again, if you're looking at the park factor for overall, it ranks second. It's actually tied for last with Globe Life Field with the Ranger Stadium, but it actually ranks very average with home runs specifically. But everything else is depressed. It is. It's a very interesting phenomena. All right. Let's get into the NBA. Prince, bring us in. What did we see yesterday? What are we going to see tonight?
So as far as yesterday goes, right, I think in terms of the Pistons and Magic, kind of went how we expected, right? Magic blew their chance. Anytime you blow a 26-point lead at home in a closeout game, that's going to wear on you. And not just the fact that they blew that lead, but it was in the fashion that they did it. I mean, I think it ended up 4 of 31. In the second half, they made 4 field goals total, which is unheard of in today's NBA. So you knew that it was going to be a tall task for them to bounce back from that. They fought in the first quarter, but after that, it was pretty much Paolo Banchero, and that was it. So he really really had no help. They brought in Desmond Bain to be that second scorer. He was not consistent enough. And I think they probably, I don't want to say they regret it, but he just didn't live up to expectations and what they had hoped for him to be bringing to the table. So without him, everyone else really didn't have a good game at all. They didn't step up. And so that one kind of went how we expected. The Pistons, of course, coming back all the way down from 3-1, winning that series. So congratulations to them. We'll forecast their season or their series as we get closer to that series tomorrow. Or I mean, to Tuesday when it kicks off. And then of course the Raptors and the Cavs. That one I've been out on the whole time because it's just been so back and forth, topsy turvy. And I think Game 7 was an indictment of exactly how that series has gone. The Raptors came out and they punched them in the mouth. They went out to a double-digit lead, and then the Cavs made a run, and then they came out on top here, winning by 12 points. So back and forth game, back and forth series. Cavs, of course, as the home team, probably kicked them over the edge here and got them over the line against maybe an overachieving Raptors team. And then, of course, Cavs going to be taking on the Pistons, which will be an interesting series that we'll be covering more tomorrow. But yeah, I think yesterday kind of went how we expected. Kind of went a little bit chalk, and we're in for an interesting series on Tuesday between those two teams.
This is a fascinating playoffs. I got to say, the NHL and NBA playoffs, I think better than last year for sure.
Yeah, it's been amazing. It's been amazing. I mean, 3 Game 7s, a lot of storylines, very competitive, and so I think we're in for again in the second round. I think it's going to be more competition, except for one series, which we'll talk about tomorrow. That one's going to be tomorrow. hint, hint. I think you know which one I'm talking about. But the other 3 might be competitive, so we'll see.
Yeah, you really don't like the Lakers, do you? All right. Let's get into tonight's games because tonight starts off one of the greatest epic. I mean, for me personally, I should say one of the greatest series. Anytime you have Philadelphia versus New York. I grew up in Philadelphia. I'm from Philadelphia, but my father and my whole family is really from New York. So I always grew up, watching New York sports. But anytime that you get these two cities together, you have fireworks no matter what. We're 2 hours, an hour and a half from each other. We play less than that. We play maybe an hour from each other. What can we expect? This is going to be such a great series. 76ers versus the Knicks. Prince, you there? Am I there? Hey, Prince, can you hear me? Prince?
Yeah. Can you hear me? I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry.
My bad, man. My bad. I actually closed out the window. That's totally on me. My fault, guys. My mistake. Sorry about that. Yeah, I heard a little bit of what. It's my fault, dude. I'm like, I'm switching through my window. Like, oh,
no,
I closed out the wrong one.
I've definitely been there. I've ended the podcast before.
Totally on me. Yeah, totally on me. My bad.
Right, but what can we expect? Philadelphia versus New York. I cannot wait to watch this series. But what can we expect? Do you have any leans one side or the other, or any plays tonight?
Yeah, so for tonight, I have one official play. I like the over 212.5. I do think we're going to see some points here in this one. And more specifically, I think that we're getting value on that because, first of all, Joel Embiid, he comes into this one. I think he's probable, but we're not sure. He did kind of suffer an injury late in the game in Game 7. So we'll see if he ends up playing. I think if he does play, this total is going to go up. So for that reason, I think from a CLV standpoint, I like getting over 212.5. Look, I mean, you got the Knicks who are going to be a little bit more rested than the Sixers. So I probably lean towards the Knicks on this one if we're taking a side, just because I think coming off of that grueling Game 7, quick turnaround for the Sixers might be kind of hard for them from a fatigue standpoint to keep up with the Knicks in this one. So over the duration of the series, I think it's going to be a close series. I actually have the Sixers plus 2.5 on a series spread. I've already placed that wager, so I do think this one is likely to go 6, maybe even 7 again. I think both teams are relatively competitive with each other. And like I said, and I've said this, and I could pull up the clip from about a month ago on our show, and I said then, and I'm saying it again. For me, the Sixers are an interesting team when they're healthy. I think they can make a deep run. I said it back then, and I stand by it. So if Joel Embiid is healthy, Paul George, Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, I love that core four in the Eastern Conference. I think they can make a run. I said it then, and I'm standing behind. And so I think in this series, they could make some noise here against the Knicks. I wouldn't say the Knicks are a shoo-in by any stretch of the imagination. So series wise, it's going to be close. But for tonight, officially, I'm going to take the over 212.5. But if I were to lean towards the side, I would lean towards the Knicks here on the spread.
Yeah, you know what I did just to sprinkle on it? Not that I had any official plays at all. I did the New York Knicks to win by 1 to 5 points at plus 390. Because sharp money is coming in on the Knicks money line, and sharp money is coming on the 76ers plus 7.5. So let me just throw $1 or $2 on the Knicks to win by 1 to 5 points. I have no idea what's going to happen. I think this is a highly competitive series. I think getting plus 2.5 on the 76ers is a fantastic angle. And I'm going to go run and bet that, but no plays officially for me. I think that the way that you attacked it is the way to go about it. I'm just going to hopefully enjoy as a fan, and, $1 or $2 to win a unit, or, whatever. That's kind of how I'll play it.
Yeah, for me, I want to see the mentality of these teams. That's because that's kind of been they're both a little bit inconsistent, right? And so I need to see how they're going to approach this game, how they're going to approach this series. I would look at Tyrese Maxey overs. Is another thing I would look at. CJ McCollum tore up Jalen Brunson in the first round. And I think depending on who, of course, they're probably going to hide Jalen Brunson on Kelly Oubre is my guess. They're not going to put him on Tyrese Maxey. Probably put Mikal Bridges on Tyrese Maxey. But if they can attack Brunson with Maxey, if they can find a way to get some switches and get Maxey going up against Brunson, I think Maxey is just going to absolutely cook him over and over and over again. So I would look at some Maxey props maybe to lead the series in scoring, something like that. I think Maxey's in for a big series. Personally, I think he could go off in this one. But in any case here, yeah, officially we're going to go over 212.5. And then let's go ahead. We'll just pivot over here to the other game tonight. Of course, the Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the San Antonio Spurs. Spurs coming to this one heavy favorites. I believe they're minus 13.5 right now, if I'm not mistaken. That's a little bit too many points for me. I don't like laying that in a game one. So for this one, I'm going to take another team, a game total. I'm going to take the Wolves Spurs over 217.5. I do think we see points in this one. And again, I think we're getting CLV here because Anthony Edwards is questionable. Now, personally, I don't expect him to play, but there is a potential possibility for him to play. If he does, this total is going to go up. Ayo Dosunmu also is questionable. So I think you have some variance here, or if those guys end up playing, you might see this total shoot up a point or two. And so for that reason, I think based on a CLV standpoint, I think getting it at 217.5 right now before those injuries are declared, I think is good value. And even if they end up not playing, I think we still have a good chance here of two teams, younger teams here that could put up some points. So I like the over 217.5 here as the total.
I love it. Obviously going to be playing along. Didn't really know how to attack this one. This series is going to be a very interesting type of clash of styles. So very interested to see how it plays out in reality.
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately they're going to need Ant if they want to have any type of realistic chance in the series, right? Can they get by a game or two without Ant? Maybe, but I think ultimately it's dependent on him whether he plays or not, in terms of how competitive the Wolves are in this series. So I think it all rides on him.
Yeah, I do have a lean on the San Antonio side, obviously, probably like everyone. All right, Drew, any thoughts on the NBA games tonight? Or a series?
Yeah,
I should say.
I'm looking forward to the games. You know what? I'm not going to doubt the Sixers. I know I'm kind of tilting the Sixers away in this series just because of how they played. I trust their offensive consistency kind of more than the Knicks, but I think this game could go 6 or 7 games for that matter. Of course, I do like the Spurs in this series, but there is actually a player prop that I was actually like pretty interested in. Where is he? Let me find him. Yeah, so I really like Mike Conley's. If you look, Mike Conley's points, rebounds, and assists. Let me compare what the over under is for him versus like the actual set line. Yeah, there we go. I prefer that better. If you can just get Mike Conley, because his points, rebound, assists at 11.5 is a -105. But if you just want him to get like 11, it's -140. You can probably find that in all books if you just want to do like alts. So I like Mike Conley with 11 points, rebounds, and assists at -140. I think he's going to have to take a bigger, like roll on with all the people that are hurt. And I think that's not too much to ask for him. Of course, like even if he has like if you look at it, even if he only has like what is it, like 4 points, 3 rebounds, and like 5 assists, like that can hit too. So yeah.
Do you like the over 10.5 at -118 over on MGM as well?
Yes. Yes. I'd say that's better value too.
Okay,
Yeah.
locking it in. All right, good looks. Good looks. Anything else in the NBA slate before we move on to the NHL?
No, nothing else.
All right, let's go straight into the NHL. Prince, I'm going to pass it back to you. Can you give us a little bit of a recap and what are we looking at tonight?
Yeah, so for me, guys, wow, what a game last night, right? With the Avalanche and Wild. 15 goals total, 9-6. That's incredible. Was shot way over, I think, obviously everyone's expectations for that. And then the Canadians, what did I say? Eked out, I don't know the word I'm looking for. They beat the Lightning and they closed it out 2-1. Lightning have been struggling in this series to put up goals. That ended up being their demise here. So the Canadians move on to the next round. And then, of course, we're looking at today, right? We got the Flyers and the Hurricanes. Hurricanes with a 1-0 lead in this series. And then the Ducks taking on the Golden Knights as that enters game one tonight as well. And for me, guys, I'm going with a two-pick parlay for today. And I'm taking this out of the soccer book here. I'm going on the Hurricanes draw no bet. And I'm going to parlay them with the Golden Knights. Draw no bet. That comes in a plus 113. Basically, we win this bet as long as both teams win in regulation. If it ends up as a tie and it goes into overtime, we get our money back. So we do have push insurance against any overtimes. But I think we're getting both teams the better team here in both series. I think the Hurricanes are the better team than the Flyers. I think they're going to show that throughout the duration of the series. I think they're significantly better, actually, than the Flyers. And then the Golden Knights, I like them against the Ducks here. I think defensively, the Ducks are going to struggle against the Golden Knights. So I think we're getting both the better sides here with push insurance at plus money. I will take that every time. So Hurricanes drawn a bet, Golden Knights drawn a bet plus 113.
I don't mind. I should say I don't mind the Golden Knights play. I played the straight up money line at -165. I didn't want to play around with 60-minute line or the spread or anything like that. I was just like, listen, I think the Golden Knights win it. Just give it to me at -165 and I'll call it a day. So I actually put 0.75 units on that. Not an official play, but it is something that I did play. And on the other side, I actually found value for 0.3 units on Philadelphia money line. Do I think Carolina is the better team? Sure. Do I also think that people are vastly underestimating Philadelphia based on their last performance? Yes. They were coming off a grueling 0-0 game going into overtime where they won it to advance in the series. I think that they were just hit by a truck coming into the game against Carolina, who had plenty of rest and ability to prep. I kind of like the plus 220 number on the Philadelphia money line that you can kind of still find out there. But I do love the Vegas play. I think that they're going to win and dominate pretty much outright. The Ducks had a great story, but when you're dealing with a competent defense, it's going to be really hard to kind of maneuver through. Drew, you any thoughts in the NHL slate?
Yeah, I'm pretty much just gonna, tell you guys I like your guys' picks at the end of the day. I love Prince's as well. I'm a big fan of the Hurricanes here, paired with the Knights, but I also like yours, Stern, when it comes to, putting like 0.25, 0.3 units on the value for the Flyers. So honestly, that wouldn't be like still a bad thing even if you did Prince's play, because if you did like a unit on Prince's play and you did like 0.2 units or something on the Flyers, that can be some really good value there.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of the times I'm taking value based on where the market is taking the number, not based on the actual probability of the event resulting in a win or a loss, which is important to know. Over time, I believe that my approach will make me more profit over time. right? Because it's all a probability game, and the more that, the more that you can play around with that, the better. All right, Prince. Anything else that we need to get to on the NHL slate before I guess we can move on to any sport that you want?
No, nothing else for NHL for me.
Drew, anything else from you? NHL, NBA, baseball, anything at all?
No, nothing else from me.
All right, something that I will mention in the EPL, we have Man City versus Everton. Prince, before we recap our best bets, I just wanted to ask you, do you have any thoughts on this game? I kind of see Man City scoring at least 1.5 goals. That's something that I'm looking to parlay with something, but I didn't really find anything in time for the show. Do you have any thoughts on this game?
Yeah, I do. So, statistically, Manchester City have been relatively dominant when playing Everton, especially at Everton. Everton have not beaten Man City, I believe, since 2017 at home. So there's quite a long period of dominance for Man City, and Man City is in a position they really cannot afford to lose any more points right now, as they're in a dead heat with the Arsenal, of course, for top of the table. So this is a must-win game, in my opinion. I mean, all the games are must-win, really. And so I think Man City comes out ready to go in this one. They're a little bit juiced on the money line, so I would probably take them with goals on this one. Maybe a team total over 1.5, something like that, wherever you feel comfortable to get them on a playable line. But maybe a money line plus team total over, something like that would be the play for me on Man City. But I do expect Man City to come out on top on this one. Again, just historically, they've been dominant against Everton, and Everton, they have an outside chance of making European competition, but realistically, they're probably not going to be able to get there. So maybe 1 foot on the beach for them, and a very, very important must-win team for Manchester City, who's flying right now. They're on fire. I like Man City in this one, of course.
Can I ask you a question about this weekend's EPL match between Brentford and Man City? Is there any
Uh,
chance Brentford has on winning this one, or are we expecting the same? Because Brentford's a much more powerful team than Man City. Oh, I guess not than Man City, but much more powerful than Everton.
So it depends on, as I'm pulling up the table here, because you got to look at these teams' motivations, right, and that factors in a lot to it. So, yeah, Brentford right now, of course, they are very much in the race for European competition next year. So they're going to be full systems go here. They're not in any other tournament, so they can focus purely on this one. I would expect a little bit closer game in that one. I mean, of course, Manchester City, they're undefeated in 8 of the last 10 against Brentford. So again, City has been pretty dominant against Brentford, but Brentford's a tricky team. And Brentford could be a banana peel for Manchester City. I know City's at home and they've been very dominant at home, but I have to do some more looking into it, to be honest with you. But I wouldn't make that an auto bet. I'll say that much.
Yeah, full disclosure, Man City is kind of my adopted fair weather team. I just really enjoyed watching them over the last 5 seasons. I did take the draw no bet on Brentford at plus 610 for this weekend's match, just as a little sprinkle. I saw a lot of value on the number. Again, like I said, do I think it's probable? Probably not, but I'm playing numbers that have value to me based on where the public thinks they are. So just a thought, and maybe a little sprinkle. I would like
Yeah,
to invite. Sorry, go on.
Oh, oh no! Real quick, one more as we're looking at the weekend here. I'm pulling up one more game here. I would tell you right now, I would fade Chelsea against Liverpool this Saturday. Chelsea, something's going on with Chelsea. This team is free falling hard right now, and I would take Liverpool in that one. I haven't looked at the books or the lines or anything, but definitely favor Liverpool in that one, just as a little bit of a preview.
I'm seeing a minus 105 on Liverpool versus 280 on the money line for Chelsea. And then when you're looking at the draw no bet line, you can get it's too far, 225 Liverpool. You're probably going to have to take a money line or a team total. The team total is set at over under 1.5 at plus 134. No, sorry, minus 160, which
Maybe use it.
is
Maybe use them as a parlay piece with like Man City, draw no bet, or even Arsenal on the money line. Arsenal has West Ham on Sunday, and West Ham is fighting for their lives. But I mean, Arsenal. If you slip up against West Ham, you don't deserve to win the EPL, in my opinion. So
You heard it here first, guys. All right. If any of our guests want to come in, request, we can bring you in, hear your take, or answer a question, whatever you got. We'll give you guys a few minutes. Just to request if you so choose. Otherwise, we're going to head out of here, recap our best bets, publish our show, and get on out of our day. Drew, any other thoughts in sports today or for the week?
No other thoughts from my side.
Prince?
Nope, nothing else. We can go ahead and recap our plays.
All right, Drew, going to go back to you. Let's recap our best bets and get on out of here.
Perfect. Aaron Nola on his 17.5 outs at -130. Logan Gilbert on his 17.5 outs at +128. Mike Conley over 10.5 points, rebounds, and assists at -118. And Sprinkle Austin Riley home run at +440.
Love it. I'm going to take the Red Sox Tigers first three under 2.5 -170. Brewers money line -110. Yankees first inning money line -200. The line has come down, so feel free to shop your lines -167 on Bet Rivers. And then a 2-leg parlay. Yankees first 5 money line parlay with the Angels first 5 money line, half a unit +131. And then my home run sprinkle today is Jazz Chisholm Jr. Prince, who do you got? Close us out.
Yes, sir. So for me, guys, we're going to the SPL, which is just now kicking off in the Scottish Premier League. I like Hearts, Rangers, both teams to score, and over 2.5 goals at +100. Going over to La Liga later this afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern kickoff. Give me Sevilla, Real Sociedad, both teams to score at -140. On the ice tonight, NHL playoffs, I will take the Carolina Hurricanes draw no bet, parlayed with the Vegas Golden Knights draw no bet. That parlay comes in at around +113. In the Diamond Ballparks tonight, give me the Braves team total over 2.5 with the Yankees. The Yankees team total over 2.5. That comes in at -113. I am going to sprinkle Aaron Judge to hit a home run at +215. Typically, I only put a quarter unit on that. Tonight, guys, I'm going to put a full unit on Aaron Judge to go yard +215. And then the NBA playoffs tonight, I will take the Sixers Knicks over 212.5 -110, and the Timberwolves Spurs over 217.5 at -110. That's going to do it for us today. Yeah, go ahead.
Real quick, sorry, I forgot to mention this at the beginning of our show. John Sterling passed away. Just an incredible announcer. Grew up listening to him, broadcaster. Just really, I grew up with him, and it's a big loss. But anyway, Yankees should bounce back from this. Use that as motivation. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, absolutely. RIP to him and his family for sure. Definitely a staple in the major leagues for many years. So, yep. But no better way to end the show than we'll just end it there, guys. This has been the Only Bet Sports Podcast Monday edition. We do hope you enjoy the rest of your Monday. Enjoy the games and matches taking place across the landscape of the sports world. We will be back tomorrow, Monday through Friday, actually, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, same time, same place. Come join us. If you're listening to us on the replay, come join us live. We'd love to hear your thoughts, your sports takes, your sports opinions, and any betting angles that you might have. We'd love to hear them here live on the air. So come join us again Monday through Friday. We're not hard to find at X, Twitter, at OnlyBets Podcast, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. We'd love to have you on. Other than that, guys, we will see you guys tomorrow. We hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And until then, we appreciate you, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.